Should we go up top or is it? Yeah.
Yep, come on then.
For its exhibition in autumn 2014, Fabrica has worked with British artist Simon Faithfull to create REEF, a new work that forms a key part of the Brighton Photo Biennial.
REEF is a project that starts with a 15-metre ship. The boat is currently sitting in a boatyard in Benfleet, just at the north of Canvey Island, and we are towing that off the coast of Weymouth. There will then be a fire. Essentially, this ship is in trouble, but mounted on this ship there are 5 cameras that are connected to a buoy, and the buoy has solar panel power source and then transmits the video feeds from those cameras to the shore. So as the ship burns, it starts to sink and then goes on journey to the bottom of the sea.
So if when it comes to being put in the water, it's suddenly sat at a really strange way, can we then kind of rectify that by...
Well, you can. But...
And the project's called REEF because this is actually how you make an artificial reef. The ship will be at the end of its life, but in a way the starting point for a new habitat.
Simon Faithfull's work has been described as an attempt to explore the planet as a sculptural object and report back from its extremities. From sending a domestic chair on a journey to the edge of space, to filming an abandoned whaling station, now repopulated by seals.
One of the precedents for REEF was seeing something that belongs to us that has been taken over by a future inhabitant. And when I got back from that journey, I've got a friend who's a scuba diving enthusiast, and he said that the only place that he'd seen that was formerly human but taken over by an other ecosystem was wreck diving. And so sort of something that's been set up for us, kind of has the dimensions of our body, goes down to the bottom of the sea and maybe rests at a strange angle and then becomes populated by conger eels and shoals of fish. I think in a way it's wrong to think of REEF as a film. I mean, it's not really a film. It's more, the medium is more the sort of the sense of this transmission, this live footage struggling to get back from a place where we can't really inhabit.
It started in this kind of flurry of smoke and drama, but then we were told that it would take about 10 minutes to sink, and actually I think partly because it was such an absolutely perfectly still day, the boat just very, very gradually got lower in the water, and it actually took about 40 minutes before the surface of the sea reached the scuppers, and at that point the water kind of rushed in and it keeled over, and in seconds, I mean literally, I don't know, maybe 3 seconds, this whole boat tipped over and just disappeared under the surface. And that was a really strange moment, really kind of, how can 32 tons of ship thoroughly disappear? I think what I'm trying to conjure is the sense of news back from this realm. In some ways, being in this space takes you into that realm in a way that is not possible even if you scuba dive to visit it. The majority of our planet is covered in water. We only live on the tiny little bits in between that we tend to think of as very important. But 25 meters below the surface of the reflecting water, there is another parallel universe in a way, and this is a portal into that universe. Where the work is quite hard to define. This is the installation of REEF here, but it was also this live event broadcast out to the world. And then the other place, of course, is it's a permanent artwork at the bottom of the sea off Portland in Dorset, and it will be there for hundreds of years. And it's slowly started this process of metamorphosis into a reef. And that kind of timescale is a very different order. It's a kind of geological time. And so this boat that was part of our world of appointments and schedules has left that world and entered this kind of slow time. The monitors are sitting on plinths that tip the screens up at different degrees. So it's almost like the monitors are lumpy bits of hardware that have sunk to the bottom of the sea. Each monitor corresponds to one of the cameras that was on the boat. They emit this kind of very deep, mournful kind of green colour. The original intention was to have a live feed for the duration of the exhibition. In the end, that live feed only worked for 6 days after the sinking. But it has a very charged feeling of this boat that you know is still sitting there. So it still has, for me, this kind of direct connection. You just kind of feel the plight of this boat. I think the space is playing a larger role than I expected. The kind of the gravitas of the church and the clock that we've decided to spotlight is a clock that doesn't work. So we've set it to the time that the boat sank. All of those things are kind of reinforcing the kind of the feeling and the thoughts that I was trying to project at the beginning, but in slightly different ways than I was expecting. But it's reconnected to that kind of poetry. Yeah. I intend to revisit the boat over the coming years and watch how it takes on this new life. Apparently, there's a conger eel now living in the wheelhouse. Sadly, it wasn't there when I was there, except maybe not sadly, because they're also terrifying creatures. But I would have loved to have seen it.
Thank you.